When did having a man become such a liability for embarrassment? Because that's actually a bit of a paradigm shift that Sabrina Carpenter has her finger on the pulse of. This whole new concept of women can be so good on their own and have their own thing going on that the only thing that could fuck it up would maybe be him. Do you know what I mean? Is the timing a coincidence? Because regardless of what you feel about what he said, we all have seen how it's reflected badly on Monet in her comment sections, in her brand, her perfume output. Like, people have started to look at her a little bit differently. And I don't approve of her having to suffer the comments, but at the same time, it is reflecting of a paradigm shift. As women start to come into their own and have their own empires, these men have become, like, I think when we look at Sabrina Carpenter, we're like, Sabrina Carpenter is awesome. He's hot for now. He might be a deadbeat dad. We're not really sure what happened with that. He's cute on her arm. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, that would not be how we're talking about this. Back in the day, it would be like, okay, let's talk about Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, whose husband beat her on the scene of the big skirt flying up, right? Still, the narrative for Marilyn Monroe when she is not with anyone is, wow, she is a woman of questionable morals. Why can't she keep a man? Do you know what I'm saying? Rather than that, like, people didn't look at her having those men as embarrassing, even though they were terrible to her. Because the paradigm back then was, well, if she's a good woman, she should have a man. And now, these men are able to make you look like less than what you have built. And so Sabrina really has her finger. I mean, I don't know if she wrote that line. I hope she did. And if she did, I really don't care. But please, 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 I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker, is like actually the line of the time right now. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is actually new. I realized. Because I feel like back in the day, it's like, well, at least she has a man. At least she has a man. That being said, like, those men weren't, like, consistently going on podcasts and spilling all the tea of their relationship and hoping everybody would end up on their side. Barry's been pretty quiet about that, though. I like Barry as his personality. Obviously, fatherhood, I mean, I don't know. Talk to Kendrick about that, you know. I digress. So, that's my opinion on this.